Wildlife Division Fire Program. I'm here today to start the first part of a several-part series on aviation life support equipment, better known as personal protective equipment, or PPE. So, while it looks like I've got a clothing store hanging up here behind me on the truck, it's because these are going to be examples of personal protective equipment. What I'm going to try to do is go through a little bit differently, but from foot to head, on the kind of equipment you should be wearing as PPE when you fly. The foundation of personal protective equipment is actually footwear. And what I'd like to suggest to folks is they consider, for the kind of flights we do, leather footwear. A good sturdy pair of hiking boots, your fire boots, even a good old pair of cowboy boots provide you with good protection. What I would avoid, however, are sandals and tennis shoes. If you should have an emergency, they may not give you the ability to egress or even go get help in the case of an emergency. As we move up from our foundation and talking about personal protective equipment, we want to talk about garments that we're wearing. Pants are the next step, and our fire pants will provide us adequate protection. They're made of Nomex, which is a fiber that resists burning and doesn't drip or spill on you. Our pants are a great start. Our Nomex fire shirts are good. And in the event that you're flying in colder weather, the poly fiber FR Nomex that we provide some of our firefighters is a good choice. If not, a cotton jacket or a wool jacket is a good option. The key point is most of the clothing that we wear, either on the surface or underneath, should be cotton or a natural fiber. Another option for personal protective equipment in flight is the flight suits. They've been a common option in the military and emergency medical services, and they're kind of that head-to-toe coverall. They zip down the middle, and they're sized usually based on your coat size. They've got a lot of pockets and room for keeping your stuff. There's also a two-piece option, and where the military's actually changed their camouflage pattern, there are a lot of digital camouflage pieces of flight gear available to folks. They offer some good protective options, and the other important thing to know is the pockets are actually oriented for being in the sitting position. They're not real worried about back pockets that you're sitting on. And I guess the other thing about flight suits is they're just so darn cool. My go-to personal protective equipment when I'm doing low-level helicopter flights is the two-piece digital Nomex military flight suit. One of the good things about the flight suit is the orientation of the pockets, so I have a good safe place to tuck my cell phone in and keep it secure, not on the dashboard. And then another thing I wanted to share was our gloves. We wear Nomex flight gloves, and they should fit firmly on your hands so you can use the controls that you might be needing to use or write. And then we need to as well make sure that the sleeves of our flight suit overlap the Nomex. They don't need to remain rolled up because that would expose too much skin in an emergency. The last piece of personal protective equipment is our flight helmet. Recently, the divisions procured numerous flight helmets that meet good national standards. I happen to continue to use the SPH-5, which is a Miltech spec flight helmet that's been approved by most of our cooperating federal agencies. Donning your flight helmet is as simple as grabbing your earpieces, making sure the interior is clear, up over the top of your head, sliding your chin strap, snapping it, making sure it's tight and firm, adjusting the microphone so that when you purse your lips, it just barely touches. If you do wear glasses, the smarter move is to go ahead and slide your glasses in after your flight helmet is on, and then just pre-flight, or if you're in windy conditions, pulling your visor down by unscrewing and sliding it down. We don't tighten that on takeoff and departure just in case of an emergency. It protects us from flash fires. So that's our first installment of personal protective equipment, aviation life support. Until next time, we'll just simply say fair skies and tailwinds.